Okay, what we're going to do now is a little project, a custom transition with a mask. We're going to set up the whole project. And this is going to consist of two layers of video footage that's going to transition from one to the other, and then a logo popping up. And then in between the transition from one video to the other video, we're going to create a custom transition. So first we'll set up the project, then we'll do the animation of the logo, and then we'll come in and do the mask animation. Let's go ahead and get started. So here we are in After Effects, and we're going to go to File, Import, File, and we're going to use DG Hoverboard 007, DG Hoverboard 011, and the Peak Productions logo.psd. We're going to click Import. I'm going to take the DG Hoverboard 007 footage, drag it down to the Make Composition button. It's now on my composition. And then I'm going to grab DG Hoverboard 11, drag that down onto my composition. And here we've got the guy popping up like so. And right about where he pops up is where I want to transition from one video to the other. About right here. So I'm going to grab the beginning of this video file and drag it to this area here. And so now when I play it, we have that. All right? That's what we want. Now what we want is to transition between here and here. But before we do the transition, let's do the animation of the logo popping up. So about 8 frames from where we transition to the other footage, I'm going to grab the Peak Production logos, drag it down, put on the timeline, and I'm going to drag it to that spot, and even a little bit further over. So I'm just kind of eyeballing. So that pops up, and then that's going to pop up. So now what I want to do with that logo is I want to change its blending mode. So I'm going to go down to Toggle Switches Modes, make sure the Peak Productions logo is selected, and set it to Divide. That looks pretty good. Now, instead of just popping up, I'm going to animate it. So let's go over a few more frames from there. I'm over around 12 frames. And what I'm going to do is open up the transform menu. And I want to scale it down. I don't want it quite that large, so I'm going to scale it down to start. So I haven't set a keyframe yet. So I'm scaling the whole thing down. I want it to be about that size when it's done. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the keyframe at about 16 frames, and I'm going to click Scale. Then I'm going to set it to 8 frames about here, and I'm going to set the scale to 0 and 0. So it's going to come up like so. Now I'm going to make it kind of bounce. So I'm going to go a few frames over and scale it up past its original size. So it's going to plunk back down. Oh, it didn't quite work. I'll just go to the last frame and scale it inwards again. So now it's going to do something like this. There we go. All right, so that's the first part of our project, because we've got it all laid out. We've got the transition from one video to the other, and then the logo bouncing in. Let's stop there. The next part of the exercise, we're going to create a transition with a mask.